The Gospel according to St. Luke tells us the story of the good news announced to the shepherds. On the hillsides above Bethlehem, the angel of the Lord appeared and brought good news. The good news was none other than the birth in Bethlehem of a Saviour, the Christ the Lord. In recent years, we have learned a new phrase in various parts of the world. This phrase is fake news. Fake news is dishonest. It is deliberately misinformation published in order to deceive, to confuse, and to disrupt. Fake news is used as a weapon to achieve dishonest advantage and to subvert honest debate and discussion. It is the antithesis of the good news. Fake news is but lying and does not come from God. But we, like the angels, proclaim good news, and like the shepherds, we receive good news. The good news is good news for all people, whatever their situation in life. As receivers of the good news, we are called to pass on the good news and to make real the promise of that good news to those in need. The message of peace, too, is at the very heart of the Christmas story. Christ is our light. Christ is the Prince of Peace. Moreover, in our often troubled world, we gather at Christmas to celebrate that our Saviour is born. The Word is made flesh. He is the light that darkness cannot overpower. He is peace itself. Many aspects of our society today are distant from this saving truth of Jesus of Nazareth. We live in a culture where fake news happens, and a culture that wants to push religious belief out of sight into the margins or beyond. I pray this Christmas that the light of Christ will enlighten the homes and streets of the Diocese of Sandhurst with peace, love, joy and hope. All the more reason to bring the light and joy of Jesus into our world this Christmas Day. We can all be bearers of the light and peace of Christ to others. A simple act of kindness, a charitable gift, a visit or a word of gentle encouragement to someone who is sick or lonely. These are ways we can pass on the light of Christ. In all of our lives, there can be moments of tension and disagreement. Sometimes there is bitterness and separation in families, and this can appear particularly raw or painful at Christmas time. Of course, Christmas cannot magic away the problems and difficulties of the year. However, it can remind us that even in the darkest days, the light of hope and peace still shines, and that with the help of God's grace, a brighter future is possible. Remember, the angel said to the shepherds, "Do not be afraid, I bring you news of great joy." The shepherds were the lowest of the low, not welcome anywhere. Yet both shepherds and scholars found their way to the manger and to the person of Jesus, whose coming remains the hinge of human history. It is important to hope and to believe that peace is possible. We all have a part to play in supporting and affirming peace. I pray that in the new year, our politicians and leaders will continue to show courage, leadership and commitment in bringing our world further forward in our hope for peace. In the name of Christ, the Prince of Peace, I pray that we will all have the courage to be missionaries of peace and play our part in spreading the light and peace of Christ from heart to heart, from person to person, in our homes, communities and world this Christmas. It is his coming which we celebrate in this holy season. His coming tells us that such is his deepest desire, to be Emmanuel, God with us, no matter how far we may have wandered. He summoned the shepherds in their place of work with music and brightness. He calls the wise men through their scholarship and desire to know. He calls each one of us if we have the sensitivity to recognise that summons. We read that the wise men returned to their old dispensation, no longer feeling at home there. In the presence of the Christ child, they discovered something that remained in their hearts, an enduring peace and joy, which they could no longer push to one side. We believe that they went home as men more wise, as men more peaceful in themselves, as men more poised in their lives. The shepherds too, we know, went home full of song and gladness for what their eyes had seen. This is the invitation offered to us this Christmas. Moreover, its fruits can be the same for us too. Light of Bethlehem, burn brightly in our hearts this Christmas. Light of peace, heal the bitter wounds in our community. Show us the path of forgiveness and love. Light of joy, fill our homes with happiness. Cast out the darkness of conflict or worry. Light of comfort, strengthen the sick, the needy, prisoners, and all those who cannot be at home on Christmas Day. Light of hope, guide our way forward as we begin a new year. Light of the world, teach us to love you more and more each day. Light of Bethlehem, shine in our lives this Christmas and always. This is my earnest wish for you, a wish that grows into a trustful prayer to the child Jesus, that his light will dispel all darkness from your lives and fill you with love and peace. May the Lord fill you with his happiness and peace and make you messengers of his goodness. With these thoughts, I wish you all a very happy Christmas.